actively, activity, compete, competed, competitive, competitively.
Now, basically, what I'm trying to do here is pretty simple. All of my students in my online TOEFL course, they typically will complete 2 different pre-tests, and this pre-test, it focuses on syllable division, grammatical word endings, word stress, sentence rhythm, intonation, and thought groups and blending. So my job is to figure out, based on the pre-test, which of these pronunciation lessons this student needs to focus on the most. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Act, active, actively, activity, compete, competed, competitive, competitively, humid, humidify, humidifier, dehumidifier, budget, budgeted, budgetary. Marriage patterns in rural Turkey are noticeably influenced by endogamous preferences within both villages and kinship groups. Pays, pays, pot, pots, run, runs, cough, coughed, pass, passed, saved, judged, sorted, sifted, planted, circumstances, conditioning, associate, technique, discussion, resurrected, consecutive, dysfunctional, retreat, positive, classical, religious, harmony, provide, air conditioner, glass cleaner, myself, themselves, 13, 30, 14, 40, 15, 50, 16, 60, 17, 70, 18, 80, 19, 90, downwind or outdoors, break into, take out. The conduct of the conductor was inappropriate. She objected to being an object of his affection. Disrespect, interlock, outpace, USA, GPA, CEO, academic, analytical, diversity, 45, cardiology, discussion, geography, cautions, Canadian, chronological, absentee, overseers, Vietnamese, picturesque, technique, covet, educate, education, motivate, motivation, operate, operation, overrated, he ate it, position, he fixed it, assume, a broom, cool bike, cool biker, coolest biker. The player left the game in the 4th quarter. Mr. Jones is grading his papers today. Can you give me a burger with cheese? She spoke with you. How's your homework coming along? Sue can go to the store. Sue can't go to the store. She can run the whole distance. She can't run the whole distance. She was at his house yesterday. She wasn't at his house yesterday. Jane could talk to the other workers. Jane couldn't talk to the other workers. Did John go to the game last week? John went to the game yesterday. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What are you working on? I'm working on a composition. What kind of composition? It's a history composition. When is it due? It is due Friday morning. There is an advantage and a disadvantage to your idea. Did she go on a vacation in the summer? It was the winter when she went on vacation. That was a great movie, I'll say. It was good. Why didn't you return the book to the library? You're wrong. I did return the book to the library. I like apples, bananas, oranges, lemons, and grapes. She has 12 members in her family. She has 12 members. My phone number is 888-9002. Did you say 888-9002? I want to leave Johnny. I want to leave Johnny. I'm going to the United States. Where? I am going to the United States. Where? 23-foot long sticks. 23-foot long sticks. Where are you going? I'm going to Los Angeles. I'm going to Los Angeles. Bobby Thompson, who lives in my neighborhood, is coming to visit tomorrow. Very ordinary looking, vampire bats weigh about 1 ounce and have a body which is the size of an adult's thumb. Sir Francis Galton, a cousin of Charles Darwin, was interested in the measurements of intelligence because he wanted to increase it through selective breeding. Can you hold up the painting for me? I wore a light sweater to the football game. Maybe you should ask Kenneth. He may know the answer. A recent vacation that I went on was Europe. I really liked that trip because I had
Hi there, these comments are for KMP, and I am Michael, the founder owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT. And thank you for completing the diagnostic pretest, the second one in my online TOEFL course. And if I had one word, one thing, there's one little thing that you could do that I think would make you speak more naturally, it would be intonation. And particularly when you're looking at the tone, for example, if you have a sentence and you have one of the words in there is what we call the focus word. Now you need to make that word clearer, louder, longer. You're doing that, but you're not making it higher pitch. It's the pitch that you have to work on. For example, if you said to me, if I said, well, how did you get to school today? And go, I rode my bicycle. Then I would say, oh, so you do have a bicycle. So you need, oh, so you do. So you do. I want a medium hamburger, not large or something. So you have to work on that pitch. That's the key. I think that's going to help you speak more naturally. Now, based on the pretest, I have some recommendations. I wrote them down as I was listening to you. Lesson number 28, 30, 31, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44. Those are the lessons you should focus on more in this part of my course. Now, I recommend, in all honesty, I recommend that you go through all of my pronunciation lessons. There's over 48 of them. Make sure you go through all of them. But for right now, focus more on the ones I outlined in this discussion thread. All right? Now, remember, you also want to make sure that you're watching a lot of TV. That's going to be very important. Watch movies. And the most important thing, find opportunities to speak English to native speakers. That's going to also help you to speak more naturally. All right? This next student is completing one of my independent speaking practice tests. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Min-Soo, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT. I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice number 42. So let me take a look at what this question is first of all. So let's see here. Okay, so we got it. So it says, a friend of yours who is preparing to get married needs some advice. What is the important piece of advice you would give him or her? Using examples, explain why that piece of advice would be important. So notice in the question, it's showing you how to use the word advice. Advice is an uncount noun. So instead of saying many advices, you say pieces of advice. So what I'm saying is, Min-Soo, is always pay attention to the question that gives you clues as to what type of grammar you want to use during your response. In this case, make sure you're not having problems with the word advice. All right, here we go.
The advice I would like to share with my friend is that you have to be patient.
Is that he or she has to be patient. So don't use the you point of view. That's an inappropriate point of view shift. It's a language use error. Your score is going to go down, and it's only 5 seconds into your response.
And always try to embrace differences. First of all, you have to be patient.
My friend needs to learn patience in a marriage. But instead of saying that, the most important piece of advice is that my friend learn patience, you might say.
It's very easy for my friend to get angry at the female, the wife, because you can identify that some challenges you can face. For example, your wife doesn't want to throw the garbage or doesn't want to wash dishes. However, if you keep saying and try to persuade your wife, she'll probably understand and then do the thing that you really want to do. The other thing is that you have to embrace.
She does the thing that you really want her to do, so.
Differences. Even though you are working as a businessman, probably your wife is working for other sectors. It's hard to understand like those fields, but you have to be very careful when you talk with them and don't undermine other people's expertise. These are the things that I really want to share with my friends.
Now what I would do is, I would probably focus the whole speech just on patience and not move to another support point and just explain what the benefits of patience are. I think that's probably the best way to answer that question. Now let's take a look at the actual rubrics here. Now make sure you're taking down notes, right? Because you don't want to keep making the same mistakes over and over. So the biggest problem for you here is the point of view. So in the beginning you're talking about your friend, which is the third person point of view, and immediately after that you change to the second person singular point of view. Stop. Don't do that anymore. Do not, especially don't do that during the TOEFL exam. So if you talk about advice that you want to give your friend, then talk about your friend in terms of he or she, him or her. That's going to be the most appropriate point of view that you can use in this type of speaking. All right, so let's go to, let me click on the rubrics here for just a minute. Let me see, so integrated or independent speaking. Okay, here we go. So I think you're having some topic development issues. I would focus on just one idea, not 2 support points on this one. Probably just focus on patience. So the most important piece of advice I would give my friend is that he learn patience during his marriage. There are several benefits to having patience. Then you say, first of all, if my friend's patient in his marriage, he will avoid conflict or something. Or another reason why my friend should be patient in his marriage is it'll help him to maintain a healthy and long-lasting relationship or something. So just focus on that idea. That's probably the best thing you can do here. Your score, so some language use issues, maybe topic development issues. Not too bad on delivery. I'm going to put you at 2.6 out of 4, 20 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, we got Adriana completed independent speaking practice test number 19. So let's see what she did. Hi Adriana, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL iBT. And you completed independent speaking practice test number 19. So which characteristic do you prefer in a friend? Reliable, humorous, or intelligent? All right.
In my opinion, being reliable is the most important characteristic of a friend. I remember that when I was in high school,
No. You need to be more specific here. If you want to have a coherent organization, you'll say, well, being reliable is an important characteristic in a friend because of, and then state reason A and reason B. So then once you move to the body of the response, instead of saying I remember, and you talk about a detail right there, you start with a generalization. You'll say, first of all, being a reliable friend is important because, then state your first support point. Then you say, I remember, and then you give the example. Then say, second of all, being reliable as a friend is also important because, state that idea, and then give another example. So remember, Adriana, you want to move from general to more specific. That's typically how we layer information for academic speaking and academic writing.
I had a best friend. Her name is Carla.
I'd say I have a best friend whose name is Carla. I would use the word whose there instead of her. That's definitely demonstrating more advanced grammar. Now, if you don't know how to do that, go to YouTube and put how to use whose in English grammar. WHOSE, whose. See if you can figure out how to use that, because once you understand that, it opens up new possibilities. So instead of saying I have a friend and then saying her name is Carla, then you can say I have a friend whose name is Carla, and that's going to elevate your grammar just a little bit.
My age, and she is a very fun person, but what made our friendship so special was the reliability among us. You used to study together.
Was her reliability with our relationship, you might say.
Also to hang out. I knew that I always could trust on her to be present in my happy moments and also to support me in difficult situations. So when it comes to friends, I prefer...
So instead of saying I knew that her reliability would, you just say being a reliable friend is also important because... So that moves to your next support point, right? Remember, you have more of a general idea, then you have more of a detail. So you like to say a lot of detail information, but you're not framing it with any generalizations or topics. So that could improve your organization if you can learn that idea.
That will not fail on me so often, or at least will try not to.
Okay. So I think on this one, Adriana, I'd like to see you work on developing a more coherent organization. That's where I gave most of my comments to you. Also, I think you need to figure out how to use whose. This is an adjective clause connector. It's important in more advanced grammar to be able to understand that. And you're not showing that you understand how to do that, at least not with this speaking. So some language use, some topic development issues, some delivery issues there. I'm going to put your score at 2.3 out of 4, 18 points out of 30. All right, thank you. Hi there, these comments are for Meg De Almeida, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT. I'm going to listen to your integrated speaking practice test number 6, reading, listening, speaking. All right, so let's take a look at this particular response.
The reading and listening passages discuss about the risks associated to the use of nuclear energy.
Wow, and this is the most difficult practice test I have. So if I remember correctly, the reading passage is talking about the dangers of nuclear energy. The listening passage gives an example to illustrate those dangers, right? So, let's see what you do.
Among the several nations in the world. According to the reading passage, several industries intentionally manufacture the nuclear weapons based on the raw uranium used primarily as nuclear energy source.
Okay.
However, there is an international agency which takes efforts to prevent the dissipation of these nuclear weapons. In contrast, the lecture says that...
But you're not getting exactly the point here. The point is this International Atomic Energy Agency, they have difficulty monitoring what countries are doing with the enriched uranium. Are these countries using it for energy or for weapons? That's the key. The fact that you didn't mention that means you're missing an important point. So remember, when you're summarizing, you need to include the most important points in the summary.
It's hard to have a specific control of what the industry is manufacturing inside their facilities. And there are several risks associated to the working of nuclear reactors. For instance, in Russia,
so I think you're giving too much of background information. You simply need to say the lecture gives an example to illustrate the risks of nuclear energy. And particularly it talks about an accident that occurred in Chernobyl, Russia. A nuclear energy accident which happened in Chernobyl, Russia. Am I right? So you're taking a little too long to get to that point.
There was the worst nuclear accident ever happened in history, which killed 40 people and got hundreds poisoned.
That's right. It was very terrible, and even the effects are still felt today. And as far as I know, Chernobyl is a ghost town, which means they don't even use it. People can't even live there now because it's contaminated with radioactivity. Okay, let's take a look here. So integrated speaking, I think here you're working on your pronunciation. You have made improvements, but you still need to work probably on your vowel sounds, I think. Language use, not bad. Topic development, you just did not include all the important information from the reading passage and the lecture. So you had some problems with incompleteness in your response. Your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.0 out of 4, 15 points out of 30 on this practice test. And guess what? The TOEFL test will not be this difficult. So if you can get a 2.0 on this, 15 points out of 30, you'll find that the TOEFL test is a lot easier. You do much better. All right? Thank you. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Marcelok, and by the way, I will get to your practice test today. Unfortunately, I had to fire my TOEFL writing specialist. He was just not grading the writing, so I have somebody new that I'm training right now, but I will make sure that your writing gets scored today. All right, so I apologize for the wait on that. And remember though, send me just one writing practice test per day, and that's probably what you're doing, and then I'm not getting them done fast enough, and then you get 2 or 3, and then there's 4, and then they get all piled up. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and listen to, it looks like, independent speaking practice test number 8. So this one, which of the following do you prefer, working for a small company or working for a big company? Use specific reasons and examples to support your point of view.
I would like to work for a large company because that will make me a known worker, and because I will be surrounded by expert persons.
Okay, so it would make you a known person. I'm not sure what that means. I don't even know how you're going to support that with examples, but the second point I think is good because you're saying that you can benefit from the expertise of other workers, right?
First of all, a large company is generally internationally known, so that will make me a known worker for other companies.
I think you might want to say it will improve your reputation in your field, maybe. That's probably a better way to say that.
For example, if I were working for Google, other companies will be interested to contract me. Furthermore,
would be interested to hire me, you might say, or employ me.
In large company, I will be surrounded by expert persons.
How about just say experts, right? Instead of expert persons. So but you didn't really support that. You see what I'm saying? So you need more examples for your second point. If you don't have enough time, then just focus on one support point and provide plenty of details to illustrate that. So in this one, you had some topic development issues. You didn't manage your time very well. You got to your last point. You said it, but you didn't support it. That's a weakness. You had some language use issues, and you're still working on your delivery. Part of your goal right now is to speak faster. And you do that by putting ideas into thought groups. You have 4 or 5 stress words, you have a pause, you have another 4 or 5 stress words, another pause. So you have the tendency to pause after 2 or 3 words, which is slowing down how quickly you speak, and it's making it harder for you to get all your ideas communicated in the 45-second limit. All right, so your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.3 out of 4, 18 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, I think I've graded all my speaking for today except one, but that one was posted 8 minutes ago, and I typically tell my students I'll grade them within 24 hours. There's 2 more on the other page. Man, almost forgot these. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Shembesh, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT. And I'm going to listen to your integrated speaking task. It's reading, listening, speaking, academic. So these are a little bit harder.
The reading and the listening passages discuss the low pressure scenarios.
Okay.
First of all, the reading passage discuss the low pressure scenarios, which is defined by the cloudy weather, severe thunderstorms, and precipitations can form in a clockwise
It's you want to say which can form or that can form. So I think you need to put that or which in there so you don't have multiple verbs with only one subject. So that, again, I would say that or which can form. That's a language use problem. Be careful.
The cold weather can form north and west of the low pressure scenarios. However, the warm air can form south and east of the low pressure scenarios.
Okay.
Moreover, in the listening passage, the professor gives an example of the snow blizzard to illustrate his point. According to the professor,
yeah, it gives an example of a low pressure center called a blizzard. So you have the connection. You understand that the lecture is giving an example to illustrate a bigger concept in the reading. So I like how you made that connection. That's important. All right, let's keep going.
A snow blizzard is a very strong winter storm wind with a very high, very fast wind, about 56.
Now you're killing me. A lot of pauses and hesitations in here. That's going to hurt your score.
Kilometer per hour, and a low temperature below minus 70 degrees Celsius, which can be dangerous to see and travel, and can damage many parts of the country, can wind down trees, paralyze power lines, freeze water pipes, close business, school, and hospitals, and also can snow cover the roofs and cave them in.
Okay, so in this one, you had some problems with delivery in terms of your hesitations and your pauses. You had some minor language use issues in there. So I think that's enough. I think you probably would not get that 24 here. You're probably looking at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30. So that would be my guess based on what you just did. You got one more to do after this. Okay, this is my last, no, it's not my last one, but okay, let's see what we have here. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Dieta79. I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. I'm going to listen to your independent practice test number 190. All right, so it says, what do you think is more important in a long-term relationship, sexual attraction or compatibility? Why? Use reasons and examples to support your choice. I would say compatibility, in my opinion. I've been married for 22 years, so I've had a chance to explore this whole thing in a lot of detail, but let's hear what you have to say. Okay, here we go.
In my opinion, compatibility is much more important than sexual attraction in a long-term relationships.
I agree with you.
First of all, compatibility helps relationships to last forever. For example, my grandpa and my grandma got married 50 years ago. They are compatible together. They can understand each other even without speaking.
Okay.
Therefore, their life went very smooth without any conflicts or arguments. On the other hand, sexual...
I would say without any, I would say with few complications or arguments, because they probably have had arguments, but you're saying they haven't had many of them. So if you want to be entirely accurate, because in a marriage there is always some complication, there is some kind of argument that occurs at some point, right?
Attraction is not enough to protect relationships. For instance, I had a friend from university who got married to her boyfriend because they were sexually attracted to each other. But they used to fight together. As a result, they got divorced after 2 years due to lack of compatibility among them.
Yeah, good example. Can't get much better than that. So your examples, I think, were very helpful in illustrating your argument. That's what you want to do. So here, I think very good on the language use and topic development areas. So delivery, I could understand everything that you were saying. So I'm going to put you at about 24 to 26 points out of 30 on this, 3.1 to 3.3 out of 4. Okay, let's see. This student's having trouble logging into my online TOEFL course, so let's see if I can figure out what's going on. Figure out why. There's always a problem. Got to figure it out. My experience too is if a student sends an email, I got to answer that, I mean fast, within about 24 hours. Or I'm going to get a bad reputation as not providing a good service, and I want to provide a good service. Okay, let me see if I can find this student in my course and then figure out what's going on with their password and username. Okay, it's... Go back. I don't see the student in here right now. Should be in here. It's not in here. I'm gonna have to add her again. Okay, now let me double check. I'm going to go ahead and try to log in using her email to make sure it works. I think we got it. Okay, I just solved her problem. Send her a message. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, this student, what does he say here? He says, I completed the pre-test, but the system did not believe I'd answered the questions when I had. Please let me know what I can do to take the test properly. So I need to go in and see what he did. See if I can figure out what happened with his. So first name, see if I can find him. I have 96 people took this pretest over the last month. Let me send him a quick message. That's what I'll tell them. So I just told the student, I said, it took you 12 days to complete the pretest according to my website. I just deleted your attempt. Come early to class tomorrow and you can complete it then. All right, so I'll deal with this problem then. So I'm teaching students online and I teach students at Cal State University, San Bernardino. So I kind of do both at the same time. Okay, let's see. This guy just joined my course. So I need to welcome him. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, here's one I need to listen to. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for SB, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT. And I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test number 6. So let me go ahead and download it right now. Make sure I download it in the right one.
To to live in.
Okay, so let's listen to this one. So let me look at what the task is. So it says, what do you think is better, living on campus in dorms or living off campus in apartments? All right, so you say,
I like to live in off-campus in preference to on-campus because of cost efficiency and freedom. First of all, if I live in on-campus, it may increase my cost. If I would live in off-campus, in apartments, it is very less expensive because I'm sharing with my friends. Secondly, we have.
But sharing what? You're sharing the room, you're sharing the board, the electricity, all of that. So you need to be a little more specific with your vocabulary to further develop that point.
Freedom if we live out of the campus. For example, when I was in school, I lived on campus, so I have to follow each and every rule which was set by campus authorities, like meal timing.
Be careful, the TH sound is killing your pronunciation. It's not authorities, but authorities. So I recommend you go to my pronunciation lesson number 24 and focus on the TH consonant sound.
Outing schedules, we shouldn't go to a night party, so it was embarrassing. Therefore, I prefer off-campus is better option for my cost efficiency and freedom.
I would say I prefer living off campus rather than on campus because, and then state those ideas, right? Okay, so what do we have? With this one, you're having a little bit of trouble with your language use, finding exactly the right vocabulary or the right grammar to explain your ideas. That's something that you can work on. Sometimes with topic development, you need to be a little more specific and elaborate more on some of the ideas that you say. That will help strengthen the argument that you're saying. And also with pronunciation, I gave you a tip today to focus on the TH consonant sound. This is the interdental consonant. Your score here, because of some of those issues, I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 4, 19 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, now I just need to email this to the student. I need to email the student my comments. Let's see. Got it. There it is. I think that's it.